She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now come on now.
Welcome to another episode of Feminine Fridays. This is where we get back to the essence of being a woman, getting back to our femininity so that we can attract the right masculine energy into our space, into our life for growth, for love, if that's what we're looking for provision, and for protection. This is what we're here today, okay? The power of the P. It is one thing that many women forget is the very essence of being a woman. So her vaginal health is very, very important to who she is as a woman. I know a lot of us was not taught the proper way to take care of our jewel when we were younger. We had old school mothers who taught us about dishing, which is completely wrong. We had schools and parents who did not know how to teach us about different vaginal infections, not STDs, but the STIs, the yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis, trichomoniasis, things that we were not taught how to prevent when we were younger because a lot of our parents just did not know. And when they did learn about it, again, all they did was dish it away. And so we took those bad habits into our adulthoods, and then now we're faced with a time period of our life where we had recurring yeast infections and BV back to back, and did not know where it was coming from. And it was just coming from poor hygiene, the bad choice of partners we chose, and more importantly, just not knowing. So go grab your daughters, grab your nieces, grab the girls from the neighborhood. This is where we're going to teach them proper vaginal health and you so that you do not take a lifetime to learn hard lessons. Your vaginal health is of utmost importance to you as a feminine woman because you understand the power of the P. Because a woman is in control of her body, who is in control of her energy, confidence, and attraction. Women who embrace their femininity know that a healthy, fresh, and balanced vagina is not just about hygiene. It's about power, self-respect, and maintaining high standards for yourself and those you allow in your temple. This is your temple. Who you allow in it is a reflection of you. So this is why we must get back to the very essence of learning how to properly take care of it so that we can minus all of those STIs. The power of the P. Why vaginal health is so essential to a feminine woman. First of all, it exudes confidence and magnetism. When a woman knows she's clean, she's fresh, and she's in control of her vaginal health, she radiates confidence. She walks differently, she speaks differently, and she carries an unshakable aura that men will not ignore. A well-maintained feminine presence commands attention without needing to demand it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Men will agree. Next, the attraction and the sensual energy coming into the space of that woman and exuding off her. Feminine women who honor their vaginal health exude irresistible energy. A well-kept, fresh, and properly balanced vagina area ensures that intimacy is always at its best, both in experience and aftercare. So we're not just talking about the pre, we're talking about the post as well. Next, a clean vagina, balanced vagina exudes self-respect and sets boundaries. A woman who values herself will never tolerate anything or anyone that disrupts her feminine balance, her pH. She knows that BV, yeast infections, trichomoniasis, and UTIs are often the results of carelessness, whether from poor hygiene, bad eating habits, or entertaining men who don't respect her body. Feminine women understand that they have to be very selective of who gets between their legs. Now, next is high standards for intimacy. Feminine women do not allow low-quality men to enter their space without protection or care. She understands that semen can alter the vaginal pH, so if she's not choosing to use condoms, she's strategic, immediately using a pH wash and boric acid suppositories to prevent infections after unprotected sex. And a lot of us did not know that, but today we're going to learn it. She keeps herself in top tier condition because she knows not every man deserves access to the P. So when she allows people to get inside of her temple, she knows that it's healthy, balanced, and clean, and that he deserved it. Keeping the P powerful, the feminine woman's routine. I'm going to go through a bunch of different products and things that we need to be doing to make sure that our vagina health is at top tier. First, let's talk about the internal vaginal health, the hydration mix. You want to mix your Pedialyte, your sugarless cranberry juice, and your sugarless pineapple juice to drink it 1 cup a day because it supports vaginal and urinary tract health. Cranberry juice contains proanthocyanidins that prevents bacteria such as E. coli from sticking to your urinary tract walls, reducing infections. Benefits of pineapple juice is it's rich in bromelain, an enzyme that reduces inflammation and supports immune function, promoting overall vaginal freshness. You're going to drink 1 cup per day to help flush toxins from your urinary and your vagina to support the internal vaginal health. This is how we're going to reduce those infections internally. Now, since we've taken care of the internal routine to maintain health, again, that is your Pedialyte, your cranberry juice, and your pineapple juice, mixing all 3 together, drinking 1 cup per day. All right. Having a daily cleansing routine for your external is next to as important as your internal vaginal health. We first want to start with the wash, and this wash here is the clove wash. Here's how to prepare your clove wash. First, you're going to boil your cloves in spring water. Okay, so go to your store and get you some cloves. While that's boiling, you're going to let that boil, and then once it's done, you're going to let it cool. Once it cools, you're going to get your Dr. Bronner's Pure Castile soap in liquid form, and you're going to add in drops of lavender. Lavender is going to help with the calming and antibacterial properties to add to the soap. Once you have done that, then you're going to add in your cooled boiled cloves and water. Once you add that in, you're going to let that mixture sit for 24 hours before transferring to your bottle of choice. You're going to use this wash once daily to clean your vulva only. Nothing internally, only the outside. And you're going to do it while you shower. This is how you're going to help keep your vaginal clean on a consistent basis. Next, we need to talk about moisturizing and odor prevention. You're going to need you some yoni oil, okay? After washing, apply 1 to 2 drops of the yoni oil on a clean index finger and gently rub around the vulva for hydration and natural fragrance. This keeps the skin soft while preventing irritation. You're also going to need to get you some witch hazel wipes. Or you can get you some witch hazel and use a rag or some tissue, but I prefer the wipes, okay? You're going to use these wipes every time you get out of the shower before you apply your yoni oil. You're going to wipe around the vagina on the outside as all up into the butt, okay? And that's going to get rid of the musty or stale odors left in the vagina and butt, sometimes even after a shower. You're also going to have you some baby wipes. Keep them in your bathroom for after every use, especially when you do a bowel movement, okay, so that you can stay clean, refresh, and remove all residues and anything left over. Then you want to get you some feminine deodorant. That's going to help control the sweating in your vaginal area. Make sure that you also have you some essential oils such as lavender or tea tree oil to freshen your routine and enhance softness and your scent. The oil that I use is a Vaginal moisturizing mist, okay? So once I've cleaned the vulva in the shower, got out of the shower, wiped with my witch hazel white from the around the vagina on the outside all the way up into the butt area. Once I've done that and let it air dry, then what I'll do is go behind me and I'll spray mist of my Vaginal oil and then rub it all into that area. Again, the freshness, the softness, and the scent alone will just have you over the top. It's going to be magnificent. This is going to help prevent less sweaty and other odors in the vaginal area and keep you smelling fresh as a baby's bottom after it's been wiped. Now, for pH balance and to prevent any infections, you definitely need you a women's probiotic, okay? You can get whichever one you prefer on the market. This is what I found on Amazon. This is going to be able to help you maintain that gut health. Probiotics help you maintain your vaginal pH by promoting good bacteria, the lactobacillus, preventing yeast infections, and bacterial vaginosis. You want to take consistently for your best results, okay? So you want to pop one in every day and consistently continue that for the rest of the time that you are active with sex. Now, once you have got yourself in a predicament, a pickle inside of you, and you've done the do, whether you use condoms or not. But I prefer it if you use condoms, because you have already seen the STD and HIV rates. Your partner, nothing is safe. You got to stop thinking that somebody will put your health before theirs, or put your health as a priority. You just got to be safe. So you got to literally treat everybody as if they're already infected. Doesn't matter if you're married. Doesn't matter what you have going on. You don't know what the men are doing when they're not with you. And I'm not telling you not to trust them, because you can trust them, but I'm saying trust yourself more. So after sex, there is a certain routine that you need to put into play on a consistent basis if you want to prevent yeast infections and BV from taking over. I know a lot of you all experience these issues after sex, and it makes you so embarrassed to even have sex. Some of it is a result of ureaplasma, and it smells like BV, but it's completely different. Okay, you'll need to understand exactly what ureaplasma is, and so that you can attack that. That's like a 30-day prescription. If I remember, ureaplasma prescription is like a 30-day prescription of clindamycin to get rid of that infection altogether. And sometimes people mistake the odor from ureaplasma to be BV, so they'll keep going to the doctor. All doctors don't test for ureaplasma unless you ask them to. So they'll continue to treat you for BV, and you'll notice the odor keeps coming back and back and back. That's because you still have ureaplasma that has not been treated. The routine for after sex care includes cleaning the vulva with a pH balanced wash, okay, to restore it back to normalcy. If you're not using condoms, you want to insert a vaginal boric acid suppository after your shower. This is going to prevent bacteria from semen leading to BV or yeast infections. It's very important that you remember that if you're having unprotected sex, you need to have your suppository of the boric acid ready to insert into you after sex. At no point should you be laying around after sex and letting the sweat, the germs, the semen, and all that stuff fester into you. That's not how this works. That is how you consistently continue to get the yeast infections and the BVs and everything else that comes with that. First of all, you need to be forcing yourself to pee. The reason why you need to be urinating after sex is because it is going to push out any bacteria, anything that went inside of your urethra while you were having sex. And it is common. I know some women who don't even go to the bathroom after sex, and these are the women who are prone to having UTIs more throughout the year than the woman who does use a bathroom. I am one who will always go to the bathroom after sex, okay? Another thing, once you get off that toilet, you need to be going straight into that shower. Your pH wash needs to be accompanying you. You're going to clean the outside of your vulva, not the internal. The outside, get all that bacteria, all that semen, all that sweat and things off of you. Once that is done, you're going to get out, and then you're going to insert your boric acid. Okay, and you're going to allow that to fester. Once you insert your boric acid suppository, you're not going back into sex, okay? Because you don't want to disrupt what's going on. Now, if you feel like you're going to go back into another round of it, you're not going to do this yet. Make sure you get all of your rounds out before you go to that shower and wash up. But do not, I repeat, do not lay around in the secretions of sex and think that you're not going to get an infection. Another thing that prevents infections is the care of your partner. Before you engage in sex with your partners, they need to be cleansing with antibacterial soap so that they can get all of the bacteria off of their genitals. Men sweat. If you are just going from outside to your bed, you're going to have a problem. You need to make sure he's properly cleaned, okay? Not with a Dove that has a scent. I'm talking about an antibacterial soap so that we can get rid of all the bacteria from sweat and anything else that is on his genitals. Another thing that he needs to stop doing is touching himself when he pulls out and tries to come back into you. The hands are full of sweat and they are full of bacteria. So imagine he slips out, then he gets his tool and he goes to rubbing it or jacking it up and down. He has just put whatever was on his hands on his penis, whether with the condom or without a condom, and he is about to insert that back into you. Major issue. Stop allowing these men to touch themselves when they come out of your vagina and it's going back in, even if you're changing positions. Of course, you know you can't turn around and do doggy style. He has to come out of you. When he comes out of you, he should not be touching himself in any form or fashion. It should be easily insertable back inside of you when you turn back around, when you turn to the side, when you get on top, without you touching it or him touching it. Keep your hands that are full of sweat and whatever else you've touched in that bed, now full of bacteria, off your genitals. Another way to prevent infections is stop using saliva to moisten your girl. I am not saying that don't receive head, but at no time should spit from a bacterial mouth be reaching the inside hole of your vagina to moisten it. You're going to have to get you something else, lubricant. But do not use any bodily fluid at any time to moisten your hole, because what that will do is cause a problem in the long term. And the last tip to prevent infections during sex is stop giving your man head and then allowing him to insert that same tool in you without you cleaning it off. Your own mouth has bacteria. Your own mouth has a lot of disgusting saliva. You do not want saliva going inside of your girl because you all are in the heat of the moment. You have finished giving him head and he pulls it right up and right out and inserts it in you. Again, another issue. If you stop doing the things that you've been doing and start doing it a different way, then you'll notice less vaginal infections, less problems. Do not allow a man who has not been to the dentist in the last 6 months to give you oral. His mouth is full of plaque. I'm sure you're able to see it in some instances on his teeth. So if you're not going to ask him to brush or gargle with a mouthwash before he gives you head, then you don't need to get it. A bad mouth will lead to infections. A lot of women like tongues stuck in their hold. Why would you want a tongue that has not been to the dentist, a mouth that has not been cleaned properly to go inside of your hole? Again, causing more issues. Now, by following these tips and a holistic approach, you can ensure that your vagina remains fresh, clean, and healthy, leading to feeling confident and overall well-being. A happy cat truly makes a woman feel on top of the world. So, sis, take care of that hole. Take care of your temple. It's going to be a place that you only let the men who deserve to be there get into it. But it's also going to be a place full of bacteria, full of odor, full of itch, if you continue doing the things that you've been doing that has been causing those problems. This is our Feminine Fridays. Tune in on Monday for another episode of Never Date Just One Sis. See you later.